About 5 of them, I think. There's a hornbill that just flew down out of the cluster leaf. Well, I think we need to go around there. We'll see them from the other side. We'll get really good light on them. I want to go down towards the dam. Now here, a couple of the guys are following up on some line tracks that have come across twin dams. They still haven't seen much. So I'm thinking that these cats have possibly walked even further north. Well, they don't seem to have found anything yet around the Milwaukee River. But there's a good chance. Good chance. Oh, here you are, Mr. W. These are all ladies that have come in. Like number 6. Now, I'm wondering if this is the same herd that we've had in the summer. This bull has clearly made this one of his chief breeding spots. His lek, his bowl, his territory. And I guess he's hoping that these ladies are going to stay here and he gets to mate with them. They could decide that he's not good enough and go and find another male to live with. Wildebeest doing what wildebeest do. They grazing and eating, and maybe we can come back to see them a little later, but I'd like to, while it's still cool, see if we can find some sign of cats. Mr. Gnu. This is the brindled gnu. And it's in this light that you see the brindled stripe patterns. Actually, that is nice side lighting on him. You can see a monarch flittering around too at the moment. been rolling in a bit of mud as well. You can see on his shoulder he's got a bit of mud. And I think all he's really interested in right now is seeing off arrival, because he's very content that these ladies are going to be here for a bit, but he can't afford another rival wildebeest to come in and shatter his domain.
Why are they doing that? I thought maybe it'd roll over.
Yeah, he might dig a little. He might also put his horns into the sand, just all scenting, making this his territory. Rubbing, we'll be noticing some places where he's rubbing his horns on the trees. But he's getting his scent around him, and he's getting his surroundings, the scent on him. Yeah. Not quite. Maybe he just wants to sit down. Not even going to roll. Thought he was going to dig a bowl. He has got a bowl just behind us. We'll go back a little bit and I'll show you. And maybe we're blocking him. Maybe we're preventing him from rolling because we're a bit too close to him. But here's his bowl. He hasn't rolled in it just very recently, but of ground where he's dug quite a lot and he's been rolling. He will probably also put his droppings in it, and when that gets a little bit dry he rolls in that too. Keeps his scent and keeps his scent around him and around his territory. See you later, Mr. Goo, once again. We'll go and find the cats. I'll let you know where they are. Oh, it's a considerable herd of wildebeest that has come in. Not just the 5 that we saw. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 17 odd. Let's go to the front of the herd. This is a youngster with a very beige forehead.
Are you here last year?
No, that's the 2-year-old. There's the last year's calf lying down. There's another 2 lying down. This is a considerable group of wildebeest for this part of the world. Interesting. There are several herds here. This is a group on its own. I think this is probably the original group that we had that was part of Brian's mom group, and there's a second group that's coming in. Oh, that's nasty. Chasing the child. 3 little ones left in this group by the looks of things from last year. So this little beige one that we can see on the left, that's one of the youngest of the car. No, there's one youngster even younger, but only about 5 months, 6 months old. It was late November, so Going on about 6 months, I guess. 5 months. Can't count properly. 5 months.
It's like a herd of lawnmowers approaching us.
Yes. We have a wall of wildebeest approaching. If they stampede now, they'll run right. No, they won't. They're also not very aggressive animals. They do turn on their predators, and they certainly use those horns in defense. You can see how the shape of the horns becomes a pretty good weapon, and when a wildebeest needs to, just by swinging its head side to side, brings into play those curved horns. One of the older females just turned around and decided to, oh, she got a fright, something under that bush. She got a fright. I'll have to investigate. She just decided to take her herd away. Another group sort of following. I don't know how to explain this. Just a couple of family groups all coming together. Maybe forming one big herd for now. We might be very lucky to have them here with the grasses greening up the way they are. Diane in Michigan, why aren't we seeing oxpeckers on the wildebeest? I can hear oxpeckers in the trees, Diane. Why are we not seeing oxpeckers? I'm not sure. Maybe oxpeckers are sitting warming up in the sun. Sabria wants to know if it's a large termite mound in the background. Just in front of these wildebeest, I guess that is a fairly large termite mound. It's not exceptionally large, but it is fairly large. Probably stands about 5, maybe 6 feet tall. There's another one even further in the background behind the front group of wildebeest. Very healthy termite mound, and to some degree because of the action of the termites and I suppose the nutrients that they produce for the soil makes for very healthy grassland in the area in the vicinity of termite mounds. Aerating, just the very presence of termites and what they do, breaking down dead wood and having trace elements returned to the soil, means they are a very important part of the ecosystem. Laura, morning Laura, from from Chicago. Illinois is still reeling after a pretty bad, because of a tornado there a while ago. Wanting to know if these wildebeest migrate. Not really, not these wildebeest here in Kruger, Laura. These ones don't migrate. We don't have the open grasslands that change seasonally, and particularly the way it does in the Serengeti and Masai Mara, with the way the rains move and the grasses, the way they follow the grazing. Here, there might be seasonal movement in different areas, but not real migration. This is probably one of the largest groups of wildebeest we will ever see out here. We normally only see small herds, but this, I would guess, is actually the two herds together. And it's fairly large for this terrain, for this habitat type. They are mostly they're mostly out in the open areas, especially they need to be at night, so they might be grazing in the bushy areas amongst the trees during the day. That's particularly also because of the heat and the shade that they get from it. They get the grazing between the trees. But when it comes to nightfall, they like to be out in the open. It's safer for them. They can run away from predators better, so it's not that usual for them to accumulate like this. Because this is just a very much larger open area than usual. A group like this in thicker bush would be quite vulnerable to predation by lion or hyena, because, well, the thicker bush, things make a noise, it's harder to keep in contact with each other. Yeah, the male calling now. I don't think he really wants to leave his little spot that he's got. And I guess he's getting a bit concerned that the ladies are wandering a little bit too far. He's still there by his marula tree.
Yep.
Let's continue. That's been interesting.